Welcome. So we are going to work with cubinometry. In other words, it's 3D models and how we use them, how we build them, and how we can look at two-dimensional figures. So in this first slide, what would you take a picture of if you were a cartographer or a map maker? So this is an aerial view of Richmond. So if I were making a map, I would get up in a plane and say, okay, here's a bridge, and this looks like the big old James River running through it, and there's a little lake over here. But you would take it from the front. I wouldn't stand on one street in all of Richmond by standing on the street. Another way you could take a picture is if you were an architect. Now, here's the Medical College of Virginia. So if I were an architect and I want to build a building, I would need a front view or a side view of a building to see how tall it was and maybe how far back it went. And then finally, if I were a scientist or a doctor, I would need sectional views of the human body, right? So I would need to be able to see it from sides or from the front that I might not be able to see if I'm just looking at the person, right? You would need to be able to cut it into sections to see exactly how it works. So we use this idea when we're looking at things, images of 3D models made from blocks. And what would this look like if I were the architect and I wanted to see it from the front? Or if I were making a map of this and I wanted to see it from the top, or a scientist and I need to see it from the sides in different sections. How would it look? So, there we go. So this is how that picture would actually look. You have the front view, looks like this. Whereas the top view, I have two, and two blocks. So the front view looks like a nice rectangle. If I'm looking from the side, remember, I can't see all the back. If I'm standing here at the street level, I can't see what's behind it. So I could only see that, well, I know it's 3 high, it goes up 3 blocks, and I know it goes up 2 blocks here, but I don't know how far back it goes. So I would only see the 3 and the 2. So if we look, right, a square is a two-dimensional surface. The cube is what makes things 3D because it has that depth to it that you don't have when you're just looking at a two-dimensional square. So are there any other differences that you can see? And it says the major difference between two-dimensional and three-dimensional is that depth, right? The fact that it goes back. So we have different parts of a cube, and this you should have learned about probably in 6th grade. You have the face, and that's what we see, right? There's the top face, front face, the side faces over here, and you have the edges. That's where you have two faces come together. So the top face and the front face, this line right here, that would be the edge. The word vertex means the points. So when you have 3 faces come together, they make a point, and that would be your vertex. So on a cube, you have 1, there's 1 in the back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the back, and 12 on that side. 12 edges, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertex. In one cube, you have all those different things. So if we look at a three-dimensional block, it can be broken down into 3 different views. A front view, okay, which is this medium purple. A top view, which would be the very light purple. And then a side view, which is the deep purple. And what we want to be able to do is take a picture of something that's 3D and draw just these 2D pieces. We should also be able to take it from the pictures and build, or at least be able to identify what picture would go with a two-dimensional picture. So I'm going to have to go back and forth between screens here. These are the examples. This is going to be our classwork today. And we are going to try and look at the front, top, and side view. So you have linking blocks, and I would like for you to build this figure. Now you can't see anything in the back, so nothing's there. We have 3 across the front, 1 coming off of this guy, and then 1 on top of the middle block. And what I would like for you to do is see, once you have this built, I want you to draw it. So if we come over here, in the example, I want you to see if you can draw it. Okay, let me see if I can scoot this over just a wee bit here so we can see both at once. Maybe. Let's see how this goes. And there we go. Okay, so this is the example, and I want to see if you can draw that here. So let's look at the front view for a minute. So if we see this front view, right, we're standing here and we're looking at the front. So I don't know how far back it goes. All I can see are these 3 pieces right here and this piece in the middle. So if I'm over here and I'm going to draw it, I would say I have, let me use a line, it might be a little better here. I would have 3 pieces here. And then I would have the 1 in the middle, right, these 3 pieces, and then the 1 in the middle going up. And then I could shade all of that in. Or you can just do the outline, either one is fine. Now if I'm from the side view, so this is the front view. Now the side view, or actually what's next? Top view. Let's do that. Okay. So the top view, if I'm looking at it from a bird's eye perspective, right? I'm in a plane up here and I'm looking down. I see the top of 1, 2, 3, and then 1 comes up here. So in this case, my top view would be 3 this way. See that? And then 1 coming up here. And again, you can color it in if you'd like. And then my side view, so now I'm standing over here, and I see 2 coming across and 1 going up. So I would have 2 coming across, and this is the side view of the exact same thing, and I would have 1 coming, and it's just above that one, so it would be right here. Does that make sense? Okay, so that would be your front view, top view, and side view of this figure. So let's see if I did okay. Front view, yeah. Top view, got it. And there's my side view. Okay? And they shaded it in, you may shade it in or outline it, whatever you like. Alright, so let's look at the next one. So build this one first. And the reason why we build them right now while we're learning this is it's just easier to hold it in your hand and turn it if you need to. Sometimes that helps people see, oh, let me look at it from the top. Right here, I can't manipulate this picture to look at it from the top. But if you actually have this figure in your hand, you can lean your head over and look down. And then you're looking at it from the top. Does that make sense? Alright, so let's try model A here. Okay. So I will clear this out. Let's see. And let's look at model A. Alright, so if we build this, let's see how this works. The front view, again, if you're standing here, this is going to be your front view, this piece right here. You guys see that? I have no idea how far back it goes if I'm just standing on the street looking at the front of a building. But I know I have 2 blocks high and 2 blocks this way. So when I come over here, I'm going to build the exact same thing. Right? 2 blocks high and 2 blocks over. Okay, so now if I were to look at the top view, see this little piece right here? That means this goes 2 blocks back. So I know there's another one over here, and then it comes across the back. Okay, so my top view looking down, I have 2 blocks here, and then I have 2 blocks here. That's what it would look like if I was looking at it from the top. I wouldn't know that this block up here is any higher. It would still just look like that. So when I come over here for my top view, it's just a nice square. It's a 4x4 because I don't know that there's an extra piece up here because I'm looking at it from the top. So I have my 4 pieces. Okay? Now I'm going to get rid of all of this because it's starting to get a little hectic. But I do want to show you what it would look from this side. So now I'm standing over here and I'm looking at it this way, and I see I have these 2 pieces at the bottom. Again, if I'm standing on this side, I don't know how far back it goes. But I do know that it has this one piece coming up here. So it's kind of hard to draw, but it would look something like this. Does that make sense? I wouldn't know that it's behind it, but I could see that there was another piece right here. So my side view is going to be kind of like an L shape with 2 at the bottom here and 1 coming up top. Okay, does that make sense? Alright, so let's see how we did. Maybe we did okay over here. And let's see, we have our 2 pieces, our top view of 4, and our side. Very good. Alright, let's look at the next one. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so if I'm looking at this from the front, let's go back to our front view, and this is going to be the second one. Now I want you to make sure you build these before you try and draw them, because when they start getting a little bit more challenging, you're going to need to be able to move the shape around to see the sides. So for our front view, we're going to have, make sure we're here, okay? We're going to have 3 across the bottom. You guys see that? We have 3 across the bottom. And then we're going to go up 1 little block here. Okay, so I'm going to go up 1 block. And then this side is 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. So I have to go up 4 blocks over here. Again, I don't know how far back it goes if I'm just standing right here looking at it from the front. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks here. 1 block over. I'm going to go down. But look, I need to stop because I know I have 3 here. So I'm not going to go all the way back down. I stop here. And then I have 1 more block over and 3 blocks down. Okay, and all of the blocks in a picture, any picture you're given, they will show you all of the blocks. So there are all of our blocks. You can see them here. This and this, oops, forgot that guy, will be the same. Okay, so now let's look at our top view. Our top view, I noticed this one little guy is by himself. if I'm looking from the top, I see this guy right here, this block, and then I see 2 more blocks coming out here. So I need 2 more blocks here. Sorry about that, I'll get rid of that in just a minute. So you see how, even though it's really tall, my height, let me get rid of this. There we go. My height is here. So I'm not looking at the height, I'm looking from the top of it. So from the top I see 1 here, 2 here, and I see another 2 right beside it. And again, I don't know that it's supposed to be down a level because I can't see the height from the top. So I'm just going to put it right beside it. 2 more blocks here. And finally, from my side view, I change, I get out of the airplane, and now I'm standing over here. And all I can see is the side. So I can't see this guy back here anymore. I see 2 blocks, and they go 1, 2, 3, and then these are included because I can see it goes up here. So I would have actually 4 blocks on both sides going all the way up. Does that make sense? So I would have 4 blocks here, and they would be cut here and there. That would be my side view looking at it. So I would come over here and you draw 4 blocks. If you're starting to get the hang of this, feel free to do it on your own. You can always come back to the video to check and make sure you did it right. Oh, I forgot to change colors. That's okay. You guys did it. But you don't have to watch this whole video if you understand what you're doing. Only if you want to come back like I'm doing and I'm like, oh, yep, that matches, my top matches, and my side matches. And you can just check it. Alright, let's move on. We've got some more, but like I said, you don't need to watch the whole video if you understand it. You just need to make sure that every time you do one, you get it checked. You can check with your elbow partner and say, hey, is this what you got for Model C? And if you guys get something different or you both don't know how, watch the video or just ask me. Okay, here's Model C. Build this figure and describe the front, top, and side view. So first thing, I want you to build it. Right now, you're just learning how to do this, so it's important that you build these things. Once you get the hang of it, I'll just give you a picture and say which one of these is the front view or which one is the side view. Or I'm going to give you a front, top, and side view, and then you're going to have to pick out the picture or actually make it. So let's look at Model C here. Alright, Model C. We are going to look from the front. So that means I'm standing here and I'm looking this way. Okay, this is my front. I'm looking this way. So I can tell it goes 1, 2, and remember, even though this guy's back here, you're still going to include it in this picture. And then it comes up here. So I know it is 3 blocks high. So I'm going to come over here and draw 3 blocks. And then I know it comes out 1 block. I don't know how deep it is. That's all I know is that right there. I can't see anything back here because I'm looking at it like I'm standing on the street and I'm looking at it. Okay, so now let's look at it from the top. If I'm looking at it from the top, I see it goes 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks back. Because remember, now I'm standing up here, or I'm in a plane and I'm looking down. So I know it's going to go back all these blocks. It's going to go back. So I have 4 blocks. Something like this. You know, my drawing skill needs some help. So, wait, that's only 3 blocks. Maybe that's why I'm confused. There we go. There's that 4th block. Alright, so somehow we have 4 blocks here. So I know that this piece is going to be 4 blocks. Here we go. And then, if I'm looking at it from the top, I also have this little piece sitting out this way. Right? So I'm going to have a little piece sitting out over here. So that's what it looks like from the top. Okay, so maybe you can see it a little better. If I'm standing up here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks this way and 1 guy over here. Now, get out of the plane, you walk over here, you're back on the street and you're looking at it from the side. From the side, I can see that it's 2 blocks high. So it starts with 2 blocks over here. So my first part is going to be 2 blocks. And then I have, how many blocks do I have here? I actually have 3 blocks, right? Because it goes all the way up there. So I have 3 blocks here. You see that? I know it's a little hard. 3 blocks there. So my next picture is actually going to be 3 blocks. And then I have, I know this is getting complicated, then I have 2 sets of 2 blocks. You guys see that? 2 sets of 2 blocks right there. But I know this is going to be a set of 2 blocks. Okay, so let me erase my drawings over here and see if we can see it a little clearer. So I have 1, 2 blocks. I have 3 blocks here. And then I have 2 and 2. Remember, because I'm standing right here on the side, so that's what I can see. Alright, let's see how I did. And I have a little L, I have a taller L, and then I have a rectangle with a little piece in the middle. And it looks like what I have over there. So, again, they shade it in, and all the pictures you will see, it will be shaded in. And you are more than welcome to shade it in or draw me the outline of it. Okay. So, model D and E. Alright, so here, and instead of marking over here, I'm just going to mark it here and see if you guys can get it. So model D, I have 1, 2, 3 blocks. And, oh, I'm sorry, I should be looking at the front. If I'm looking at the front, all I can see are these 3 blocks and this guy right here. That's all I can see from the front. So I would have these 3, and then 1 up right in the middle. Okay, if I'm looking at it from the top, if I'm looking down, that's when I count the top faces of these cubes, right? So I would have 3, 1, 2, 3, and 3. So I would have a nice square here of a 3 by 3. Okay. Let me go ahead and finish this one. I'll go back and fix the others because I forgot to mark the actual blocks. Okay. So I would have, so I would have a 3 by 3 for my top. Now for my side, I would also have just the 3 at the bottom and 1 at the top. You see that? So your side and your front are going to look the same. So I have these 3 faces and then this face right here. So I would have 3 faces down here and 1 in the middle. Okay? And let's look at, I'm going to clear this out. And again, if you need to take time, write stuff down, pause the video. And we're going to go here. There we go. We're going to look at model E, so this one. So there's nothing back here. That's why it's white and there's no cubes. So you only draw what you can see. Don't assume, oh, well, there's others back there. Only draw what you can see. So from my front view for model E, I have, and again, I'm looking at it this way, looking at the front of the picture. I have 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are the faces I can see. So it would be 4. And then I know it goes 4 across the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and draw that. And then it comes down like a staircase each time. So it would go like this. Does that make sense? So if I did it right, we all know. Here we go. I have 4 in the first one. Yep. I have 3 in the second one. Yeah. I've got 2 here and 1 at the end. So 4, 3, 2, 1. If I look at it from the top, all I can see are these faces, just the tops of the cubes. So I have 4, and then I can see these 3 coming out this way. But right now, all I can see, I have 4 coming this way, right? I can see that. These 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these over here. So I'm going to add 2 more blocks. Okay, and finally from my side view of model E, I'm standing here and looking, I have 4 going up. See these faces here on the side? I have 4 going up, and I have 2, oh, got something coming in. Hang on, let me cancel that out. Oh, it won't let me cancel. Uh-oh. There we go. Shoot. Okay, sorry about that. Keep going. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have 2 more on the side. So I have 4 going up, 4 vertical faces, right? These 4 blocks I can see if I'm standing on the side. And then I have these 2 extra blocks on the bottom that are coming out. Okay? So this would be the front, top, and side view of model E. Now what we're going to work on is we're going to do the opposite. So remember I said first I'm going to give you the picture, you're going to build it, and then draw the model. Now, what would happen if I gave you the pictures, the 2-dimensional pictures? Can you build the 3-dimensional? So if I gave you these pictures, could you build something like that? So what I would like for you to do is you're going to build, there are 3 models, you're going to build all 3 of them and then show it to me and I will sign off on it. Okay? So this picture right here would look like this when you build it. There's your front view, right? You have 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. There it is, 2, 2, and 2. Your top view would look kind of like a plus sign. You have 3 and 3. Oops, wrong way. There it is. And so we have a 3 by 3. Then your side view, you have 3 across the side. And see how you can see that piece back there? That's how you know there's one back there. So you have 3 and 3. Oh, There it is, which is a 3 by 3. So I think building is harder than if you're given the picture and have to do the views. I think that's a little bit easier than if I give you the views and you have to build it. But you do have to be able to know both ways. So we're going to practice this way as well. So there's the view for model 1, the view for model 2, and the view for model 3. It's a little light, but I think you can see it. There's the view for model 3. Okay? Alright, so that's all there is for the building and the pictures. I'm going to hold off on surface area and volume for today. We'll work on that later this week, and we can actually use these cubes right here to tell us what the surface area and the volume of this shape would be. So I know we're used to doing surface area and volume with formulas, but there is a way, if you're given a picture with cubes, where you can find it out by counting up how many cubes you use and the faces that you can see. So that is all for now. Raise your hand if you need any help. Other than that, good luck.